Hey guys, in this tutorial we're going to take a look at how to enhance your cartoon animator project in various ways by using the post-editing software Adobe After Effects. By the end of this tutorial you'll learn how to apply some cool effects like this to your project to make it more dynamic and visually engaging. If you haven't watched our tutorials on installing the After Effects script and exporting your project from Cartoon Animator yet, please watch those videos first. Here we're starting with the project already exported into After Effects. The first effect we're going to apply is motion blur, which is perfect for a running character to exaggerate the feeling of speed. To get started, we're going to find the exported image sequence for our character on screen named Red. You can see that it already contains transform position keys that were exported from our CTA project. To apply the motion blur to our object, all we need to do is click on the motion blur box for that particular item. Once we apply it and play back, you'll see a noticeable blur on Red as she's running and flipping forward through the scene. It's a fairly subtle effect, but for now we're just getting started. Next we're going to look at adding a depth of field camera effect, which is something that Cartoon Animator currently doesn't have. Let's go to the scene where our character is floating and select a unified camera tool. If we rotate around our scene, you can see the effect that it has on the overall view. If we zoom out and take a look at the project from the side, you can see that the layout is exactly the same way it was in Cartoon Animator, with props layered on a Z-axis for different perspective effects. To apply the effect, we can simply go to the single camera that was exported for our project, activate the depth of field at the frame that we want, and adjust the aperture, which will blur out the entire scene. What we want to do is focus on Red, and to do so we can simply select her layer, then right-click on the camera object and choose Set Focus Distance to Layer under the camera menu. Now you can see it will focus on Red while the rest of the background has a blur effect, simulating depth of field. From here you can tweak the effect by again adjusting the value to get a stronger or more subtle background blur. One thing you'll notice, however, is that when the camera zooms in for the close-up, that focus effect gets messed up. To avoid this situation, we can use the Link Focus Distance to Layer option. Let's follow the same process as before by selecting Red's layer, then right-clicking on the camera, but this time we'll choose Link Focus Distance to Layer. What will happen now is that regardless of the distance between the camera and Red's layer, we'll get a consistent depth of field effect on our camera, and you'll see the focus distance value becomes red, and changes depending on where we are in the timeline. Now let's look at adding some light effects to the background. To add a simple light, we can just right-click in our scene layers and select New, Light. We'll add the default point light for now and press OK. You can adjust the horizontal and vertical position of the light by using the movement gizmo as you see here. You can also change the depth of the light as the letter Z appears below the pivot point. You can see the various effects as we move it to different values on the Z-axis. We're going to take a look at the glow effect now though, so let's just delete the light channel for now. We're going to apply the glow effect to this layer called Machine Screen that our character is standing on. So let's select that and then search for glow in our effects. Once we find it, we can simply click and drag it onto our object and you'll see the effect control panel appears on the left. From there you can mess around with the three mean values of threshold, radius, and intensity in different combinations to achieve your desired results. It's also quite easy to copy and paste the effect on different objects as well. If we wanted to apply this same glow effect to the other machine behind Red, all we need to do is right-click on the glow effect, copy it, and then select our other object and paste it in the effects control panel. There's also a cool effect you can apply to your character called the CC Light Sweep effect that creates sort of a glowing outline on your character which can simulate light from a certain direction. So with my character selected, I'm going to search for that effect and then apply it to my character. From here, we can adjust the various parameters to achieve the result we want, which is a hazy blue light coming from the machine glow above her. To get the correct color, we can use the eyedropper function to sample the background color and refine it from the control panel. Once we've got the correct values, you can see it looks pretty cool. We can complement that light sweep effect with a drop shadow as well to give an even more three-dimensional feel to our scene. Just search Shadow from the Effects and Presets panel to find the Radial Shadow effect. Again, we'll apply it to our character the same way, and then adjust the shadow size to make it appear like it's a long ways back on the back wall. You'll notice, however, that the shadow gets cut off by the border of the selection box in the process. To fix this, all you need to do is click on the Resize Layer option, which will fix the issue. You can also further adjust the shadow's opacity and softness values to get a result that is more accurate for the atmospheric lighting. Finally, you can always really enhance the mood and tone of your scene by adjusting the hue. Since we want to adjust every item in the scene in this case, we're going to select the entire project composition in order to make an adjustment for every object. Once we have that selected, we can go search for hue and then drag it into the scene layer. From there, you can see that we can adjust the entire scene hue to all the colors of the rainbow. Let's try one other final effect called the vignette. This will create a sort of dark frame around our scene that draws focus to the character in the middle. To add that to the scene, we'll just follow the same process by searching in our Effects and Presets panel and dragging it into our scene layer. From here, you can go wild with whatever levels of vignette you want in order to get the desired result. That's about all there is to it. These are just a few of the cool effects that you can apply to your cartoon animator scene in After Effects once it's been exported. Thanks for watching, and make sure you stay tuned to our YouTube channel for a constant update of new and cool tutorials, and our forums over at forum.reallusion.com, and I hope to see you in the next video.